Phosphor fans, Earl at thelogbook.com back with more Tron, friend and patron saint to video game addicted kids of the 80s everywhere. Today we are playing Adventures of Tron, which was released by M Network. In reality, that was Mattel Electronics' label, if you will, for producing games for other platforms than the Intellivision or the rather lamentable Mattel Aquarius computer. M Network produced games especially for the Atari 2600, but also managed to turn out games for platforms such as the Apple II home computer. Now this is Adventures of Tron, and it's got kind of a roundabout story. Mattel Electronics produced 3 games for the Intellivision based on Tron, one of which was Deadly Discs, which was ported in a somewhat simplified but straightforward manner to the 2600. Solar Sailor, which was dependent on the IntelliVoice voice module, and therefore no attempt was even made to translate it to the Atari 2600. And then there was a game called Tron Mazatron for the Intellivision, which is it's an interesting game in and of itself. We'll have to play it sometime because it seems to have been built on some mistaken assumptions about what the movie was going to be about. You know, of course, the movie Tron, the logline for it is, you know, you're going into the world of the computer. Tron Mazatron on the Intellivision showed Tron running around literally between giant microchips and things like that. Not really what the movie was about, to put it mildly. I think there was an episode of The Star Lost that was like that in the early 70s, but that's something we discuss on the Retrogram podcast and not on Phosphor.Fossils. When the time came to translate Mazatron to the Atari 2600, what emerged was a game that was so different that they gave it a completely different name, in this case, The Adventures of Tron. So let's get started. You are Tron. He of the purple pants and green shirt. That really sounds more like the Incredible Hulk to me. And you're trying to avoid those recognizers. Or at least you're supposed to be trying to avoid those recognizers. Oh, and in avoiding recognizers, you can run face first into recognizers. If you simply walk through that gap in the center of the screen, as I just demonstrated, you you fall back down to the first level. Wait for these recognizers to pass. They always seem to travel in 3s. That little dude is the Solar Sailor. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to catch all the bits, and then you can ascend to the next level of the game. Even catching the bits, apparently, is not easy. Really? Alright. Oh, grid bugs. Lovely. Oh, I got both of them in one go. Well, that was fortuitous. Run. Run. Die. Okay, so what you're trying to do is you're trying to capture all the bits and all the little lightning bolts on each level, and then you ascend to the next level. You're trying not to get caught by anything that is not a bit or a lightning bolt. Now, the little arrow thing that keeps zipping back and forth on that one level, that is the Solar Sailor, and if you jump onto it at just the right time, and it has to be really precise, it will carry you over the heads of the recognizers and deposit you where you can hopefully find a safer way to get to the top of the screen. Now, there was a version of this game that was packaged with a custom controller, which was made to resemble the translucent blue arcade grip of the Tron arcade game. Even though this really does not resemble that arcade game. There you go. That's what the Solar Sailor is good for. Okay, that bit is proving elusive, as is the art of staying alive. You can jump over the recognizers, but it's just not a very effective way to survive the game. And yet it is what I'm left with, and I died. Let's try it again. To start the game, interestingly enough, you have to pull down on the joystick, which sends Tron started on his path down the data stream at the center of the screen. Oh, bad, Tron. Bad bit. Oh. Alright, on to the next level. That worked better on paper than it did. I didn't think anything bad could happen from grabbing the Solar Sailor in the wrong part of the screen. I was so mistaken. You really have no indicator as to how many lives Tron has left, which is probably the big deficiency of the game. My lack of skill in the game is not really considered a deficiency of the game. So, there you go. Not every copy of Adventures of Tron came with the blue joystick, and so the controller itself has become something of a rarity. I guess I can't go up the same elevator that I took on the level below. Marvelous. I'd forgotten that. Now you know. And knowing, as they say, is half the battle. You can drop down one level if you're standing on the elevator. Come on, go, Tron. Jeez. I have some questions about the collision detection in this game. You know, collision detection is a programming term for, you know, detecting when an object has interacted with another object on the screen, and it seems like it's much harder than it should be to catch the bits. Oh, bye, Solar Sailor. See ya. Thanks for dropping by. Wow, I almost thought I was going to jump all three for the first time in my life. And I've only been playing this game for, 26 years or so. So there you have it. Adventures of Tron by M Network. A bit more in line with the universe of Tron than Tron Mesotron was on the Intellivision, but still not an easy game by any stretch.